What's going on, guys? Welcome to It's Complicated. It's a show where I talk about and showcase wristwatches, especially good ones, but sometimes not as good at ones. What happened to the buttons on this shirt? Oh, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Today, I'm going to be showcasing for you guys the Ballast Perisher. And there are some things that you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for because some stuff is pretty odd. Here we go. All right, so today we're going to be checking out the Ballast Perisher. Technically, it's called a BL314646. Now, each color of this watch is limited to 200 pieces. 200. Now, that's certainly not a lot of watches, but there might be a major issue with that. Now, I'm going to get into that, so hang in there. Let's get this open and show you exactly what the watch comes with, because it's not just the watch. Slide this out. Flip this open there. Take this off. There's the watch. Comes with a stainless steel bracelet and its own little spring bar tool. Very nice. You gotta love those. Great for pointing stuff out when you're making a YouTube video. Okay. Top of that's very nice too. Lots of artwork there. Definitely everything related to submarines, naval stuff with this brand for sure. Let's get this stuff out of there. And there we go. Now, I do love this bracelet. I gotta mention that. I just love how the linking is on here. And when you pop this open, nice solid steel there. Definitely nothing feels cheap about this bracelet, except for maybe how you would get it sized. I haven't really messed with that yet. Couldn't help myself here. Definitely had to size the watch up. These are the actual links. I think it does look a little better on that metal bracelet. You are going to hear me at the end of this video say that I think it looks better on the strap, but after discovering the strap is fake leather, I mean, what are you going to do there? I just think this is a much better look. So, fair heads up for you guys, being honest. Love these links. Definitely dig the bracelet for being a watch such as this one. Now remember, I mentioned that this watch, this Perisher, is a limited edition, okay? And I'll show you where it says that. Right there, you see that? This one is 93 of 200. And I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Now, as cool as that is, there's a big problem with that. Now, you saw on the watch that it is numbered, but if you go to their website, it's not listed as a limited edition. So what's the deal here? There's only 200 of these things ever made, and they're still for sale on their website. Plus, a company as big as Watch Gang is sending these out to all their subscribers. All the subscribers of, you know, their best versions of watches, we can call it. Or at least what they say is the best versions. The most expensive ones, if you want to go that way. Now, I know Watch Gang gives out more than just one watch to the subscribers. So I get that there. But you're telling me there's not 199 other people on the same tier to get one of these? And then the website just sells them without listing that they're actually limited edition. Now check this out. If you check out Ballast's website, they do mention watches that are limited edition on their website. So why aren't these mentioned as limited edition on their website? And how are they still for sale if they truly are limited edition with only 200 of each color being produced? That's only 1,000 of these watches. So that's really confusing to me. Now, believe it or not, this gets better. I reached out to Ballast almost 2 weeks ago, and I asked them about this. I asked them about the movement too, which we didn't even get into, but I was completely ignored. So good job, Ballast. You're not making yourselves look very good, are you? Especially when we get to the price of this watch, what you actually charge on your website for this watch. Because the price of this watch on their website is $800. Anybody out there want to give a company like this that kind of money? I mean, again, I didn't even get to the movement yet, so just wait, okay? Just wait till we get to the movement. I don't think anybody is going to want to give a company like this $800. And you know, to be honest, I kind of think that proves that they're having a hard time selling their product if they're shelling these out for people paying $300 instead of $800. That's a $500 discount. That's pretty ridiculous. But just you wait until we get to the movement, okay? Now the size of this watch here to here is 45 millimeters. Now the movement, it is an automatic movement, of course. Now the movement's a CL-888 Swiss automatic movement, but that movement quit being made in 2009, almost 13 years ago. So my question to you guys is, where do you think they got so many of these movements? All right. I guess I shouldn't have dropped the watch there, but where do you think they got them? Is that a recurring thing with this company possibly? You know, maybe they find a bunch of old movements that aren't being made anymore, buy them, put them in the watches, and just hope that they're going to still run okay. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that this isn't a new watch, but it's certainly not new movement, okay? Even if that movement is serviced, it's still not new movement. This movement is no longer created by man. Speaking of the movement, let's check out the timekeeping. It actually does pretty good. Has a couple of hiccups though if you're going to tilt it at angles, etc. But overall, it's not god-awful for some movement that was discontinued almost 13 years ago. I am still so curious of where they found these and why they decided to put them in these watches and then charge what they're charging. Water resistance, it's a 500 meter water resistance, which is very nice. I mean, you can't really take that away from the watch. If you talk about the case, I really like the case on this one. It's 45 millimeters across, so it's a bit large, but I do really like it. The bezel is cool too. It's a very simple bezel, and I believe that is ceramic, if I'm not mistaken. Crystal is sapphire crystal, so it's never really going to scratch, which is very nice. Let's check out the crown. There's the crown with that Ballast logo on there. Now, what's interesting is if you hold it like this, the crown is almost perfectly straight up and down, you know, vertically going this way. And a lot of people think that companies like Rolex and stuff should do that, but I bet you with this one, I'm just calling that I got lucky here, okay? I'm just calling that. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with I got lucky, considering they're using a movement that has been discontinued for almost 13 years. The grip on that crown, though, is very nice. It's got a lot of good grip on it. I mean, you'd have to be a person that messes with watches, but man, those lines are nice and sharp, very easy to turn. There's the case back of the watch. Pretty nice. Again, numbered 93 of 200, but still, I just don't understand that. Now, the dial on this one, I think, is pretty nice. You know, that automatic is very large, written right down there. Same with Swiss movement underneath. Now, as far as the hour markers go, they're minutes. Every other marker is big, every other marker is small, but the actual hours are there behind those minute markers. Like there's 8 o'clock, there's 10. Nothing at 9 there. You got this line that keeps going all the way across, and I think that's really cool looking. Gotta love the date. If you guys know my channel, you know I'm a date guy, okay? I just want the date on my watch. Hands are very nice too. Gotta be loving that hour hand, and the second hand being like half orangish. You know, it sometimes kind of looks like it's floating around the dial, especially holding it like that. I think that's very cool. Very cool. Now the lume, I'll show it to you. Here you go. It's barely okay. That was on a good charge of a very bright flashlight, and it just barely held up. So definitely nothing to be impressed with there. There it is on the wrist. And as much as I like that bracelet, I do feel like the Velcro strap is a little cooler. It's very nice. Thick, seems very durable. Although right here, I gotta say, feels like fake leather. So now you got an $800 watch and you don't have real leather on it? Come on. So maybe this is the way to go, because I still really do like this. I'm not sure overall where to put this watch, okay? If the company is hiding from my email and avoiding talking to me because I've discovered them just putting some limited edition case backs on these watches while selling them to Watch Gang and then claiming them to be limited edition when they're not, I mean, that's pretty dirty. Why isn't the watch shown as limited edition on the website too? I did have that thought of, oh, well, maybe it's just, you know, it's an unpopular watch. It hasn't sold out because they haven't sold a lot of these. If that's the case, why isn't it actually listed as a limited edition though? They do have watches on there listed as limited edition. So I'm just not, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I'm not over that, okay? And the company ignoring my email was a big no. There's lots of things I like about this watch, but there's too many things that seem dirty, if you want to put it that way, about some of these that are limited edition. The fake leather here, come on, plastic on an $800 watch. I mean, yeah, it looks nice. It does. It's a cool looking watch. The Velcro's super sturdy. It's nice Velcro. Like I said, this metal bracelet is very nice. But again, no screws on the side there. So that already kind of shouts out a little cheap. And then let's go to the movement, okay? It's almost 13 years expired, but it's still, you know, they're still pushing it as new. I bet you they probably just found like a last of stock for that movement and just bought a bunch of it. So yeah, it's new. It's new. You know what I mean? Kind of. Maybe the ones going through Watch Gang are limited edition, and the only thing that is limited edition about it is that case back. But it doesn't say that it's limited edition because of Watch Gang or anything. Is Watch Gang even aware of this? I'm not saying that Watch Gang is my all-time favorite or anything, but I think even they'd be a little grumpy knowing what I've discovered. I mean, this Ballast company is clearly big on the Navy. I mean, all the website, all this stuff, all right? But can any of you out there see the Navy actually supporting a company that lies as much as Ballast has done just with this watch? Just with this watch. I don't know about that one. And boys, that was the Perisher. Don't know if I'm a big fan of the Perisher. The bracelet was interesting. Okay, I'll give it the bracelet. But other than that, there's too many things that are wrong with the Perisher. There's too many questions I have with the Perisher. The numbers. How are they limited edition only to 1,000? But the Watches Galore website or whatever is giving them away. I mean, they're selling on the website for $800. I bet you the way that company is, if you dropped $800 on that website right now, you're gonna get a watch mailed to you. They'll make a new number. They'll make 201 if that's really what they're doing. I just don't think that's what's going on. I think a lot of that is just kind of marketing, sadly. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of It's Complicated. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Do all that stuff that people tell you to do when you're on YouTube. And I'll see you next time on another episode of It's Complicated.